Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Leonardo G and I haven't been posting for about 4 months now. I think the last video I posted was back in June or July, and like I stated before in the beginning of this year, it's complicated for me to do videos because of all the environment around me. Just so you know, I had construction work around the house until the middle of August. Then the vacation period started, and then I had new neighbors, then I had children around the house, I had family, then I became sick. So yeah, it's been really complicated this year for me to just have the not only the time but the motivation to do more videos. Although I have been recording everything, putting everything into folders so I can do more videos because I like to do this. I like to communicate with you and I like to do videos. So from now until the end of the year, I hope I can post 1 or 2 videos a week so I can still engage with the community, the Warframe community in particular, but I have also other video games that I've been playing that I want to talk to you about. So I apologize for this long hiatus that I did, but circumstances are complicated when you don't own your own house and you live with other persons of your family. So that's just the gist of this. Now, this is a Warframe video, and I'm talking about this video with Warframe because there were some pretty good quality of life changes to Warframe in this past update, the update of the God. Now, they are not in no particular order. Some of them were already talked about during the dev streams and during the community, but others I found out just sporadically, and I thought they were pretty cool. So, the first one is, as soon as I entered the game, I found out we now have Abyss Beacons. Now, the Abyss Beacons are used to go to the Abyss Zone to get the new resource to build the God. I'm not particularly fond of this because I figured out there will be more missions that will require Abyss Beacons. Like we need relics to get primes, we will need Abyss Beacons to go to certain places. And also, it creates a great disruption to matchmaking to missions. To go into the missions of the God, you have imperative to go into a relay or into a chat and gather people to do the mission. I mean, you can do it on your own, but if you want to do it with people, there's no matchmaking because it doesn't really relate every beacon that a person has. I think it only needs to be one person with one beacon. It doesn't need to be everybody with a beacon. But yeah, I don't understand why they did this. Why they put this obstacle in the way. But maybe further ahead we'll figure it out. Maybe on the next update, whether it just will be the man on the wall. Digital Extremes did the QTCC, which is the Quest to Conquer Cancer, last month, ended at the end of October. So in November, right at 2nd November, we had a few interesting designers that they offered us, which was really cool. The one of them that I really like is the theme. The theme is really cool because it looks like those samurai pictures, samurai pictures with flowers and ribs and that. The colors you can vary it a little on them, but I did put it as my theme and I really enjoy it. The Kahl missions now have a few new perks. One of them is you can now find stock during the mission instead of just completing objectives. You can find them randomly during the mission, and they are marked so you know where they are, even if they are for instance, behind secret doors and something like that. So it's really cool. That way, you don't feel like, oh, I have to do the mission again just when there are those 15 more, those extra that I was missing. You can just do the mission and get some of the objectives and some of the stock. So I don't have to do it again. But also they added something very interesting, which is now Kahl can change weapons. Now, there's better and worse. Usually at the end of the mission they give you the heavy gun, so that remains the same. But you now get shotguns, you have snipers, and it's an interesting twist. I know I've done it 2 times. The first time I didn't choose any new weapon. The second time I went, I changed as I progressed. It's a fun gimmick. It's not really necessary because you can do it just with a Gratica, but it's a fun gimmick to use in the game. There are also a few gimmicks added to the circuit. Now, the circuit, if you have all the weapons when you do it on Steel Path, people don't play the circuit anymore. So, Digital Extremes added ribbons. Now, I come about this merely by chance because I noticed that right at the edge of the right screen there was a little something there, and I said, oh, what's that? And I clicked on it. Oh, it's more rewards. I didn't even notice there was a bar at the bottom that you could move to see these rewards. So it's there. If you miss it like I did, it's there. It's probably there since the GOT or even before, I don't know. But yeah, if you want to do that, you can play it now. Although, in my opinion, there's easier ways to get ribbons, and I already have too many ribbons, so it's not really for me. It's nice that they added, but not really for me. If you want it, go right ahead. It's another way to engage with the circuit. Then they reworked the Hydroid, and it looks amazing. I'm trying to make a separate video talking about the changes that they did, which is really good. What was not so good was that they gave us one forma for the trouble of, reworking the Hydroid, and people may have to forma it again so you can make it work. So one forma for Hydroid. It's not a lot, Maybe they should give him 2 or 3, at least 3 forma. Should be better. One forma just seems to go, hey, here's a penny for your thoughts, or here's a penny for your work. It doesn't seem, it seems like it's too little. It's better than nothing, of course, but, they could have amped up those forma a little bit. And it's still nice that they thought about it. Then we have one of the biggest things they introduced, which is now you can highlight the enemy color. To be true, most of the times I play the game with low saturation. There's so much color and so much effect in the game that I actually put the game in, I think it was portrophobia, which is a kind of way that, well, it basically desaturates the game a lot. And having the enemies highlighted is really cool. Now, it serves it's kind of a double-edged sword, really. Because if you want to be immersed in the environment, you need to have also the enemies immersed in the same lighting, the same mood that you have. But it's hard for them to see. I mean, the Eximus really stand out because they have those auras, but the rest of the people just blend too much. So now you can pick a color. The funny thing is, I already tried this when I was doing, I think it was the colors for the K drive, and the K drive really disappears in the landscape really fast if you don't put a color that is not used. The problem is most of the colors are used. I mean, if you put greens, you can't see it on Earth. If you put yellows or reds, you can't see it with the green or when the light's going down. If you put blues or cyans or variations of blues and greens that are low tone, can't see it in Fortuna because everything is snow. So the color I ended up picking for the K drive was actually purple, and that's the color I picked for the enemies. It works really well. I mean, they really pop up during the scenery, and you can have low saturation, just have the enemies pop up, which makes it a lot easier to find out where they are and to kill them. But it also kind of ruins the mood of the game if you like that, and I do like the mood of many of the missions and sets on Warframe. So I was kind of like I tried it for like a week or two, and then I decided to turn it off, but I did go with purple. One of the things I also found out was that if you rotate the model while you're choosing the color, the physics will still apply. I mean, the model will still be, kneeling down, so it won't be moving, but if you try to rotate, the physics of the fabrics will still interact with it. So I found that was really interesting. Now, another thing I found out by mere chance was now you have an in-game menu that shows you everything from the latest update. I found out when I was in Cetus, right above the left bottom corner, there's a little box that says latest update. You can click on it and see everything that came out. The new Warframe, the new weapons, the new items that are there, which is really cool if you've just been away from the game a lot, or you see the latest update but you don't want to read everything in the forums and all the social media. You can just get in the game and this thing pops up, you click on it and say, oh, this is the new stuff that I can farm or search for. So it's really cool. I really think this is a quality of life that nobody talked about, but I think it's really important in a game where many people, once they finish a mission or once they build something, they really don't know where to go or what to do. So I think this was really cool. Now, one of the other things that was added now to the game, which is auto melee. Now, I thought I had to turn this on options, on or off. I could turn it on or off, but no, it's a feature that's right there in the game. As soon as you press melee, it will automatically do the attacks. Unfortunately, and I found this through talking to people on chat, it does not apply to glaives. Chat said it was, glaive is a throwing weapon, so it doesn't really make sense. But it does make sense to me because the Shoris is one of the few weapons, or maybe the only weapon in the game that does not the combo counter does not go down. It just goes up and it stays that way. So I use it a lot, especially if I have a ribbon that I have to open. There's a ribbon which has a particular combo counter that you need to achieve and maintain. So I use it for that and two other things in the game, because the combo counter can go to 12 really fast, and then you can just explode the glaive or whatever you want, and it kills a lot of enemies. So I use the glaives like that. I increase the combo counter. And I cannot do that with auto melee. I have to still press the button a lot of times. I think that compromise should be achieved, or should have been done, by having the option in options. But they did it like this, so, if you use glaives like me, you have to use them mainly to throw. If you want to do combos, you better use just everything else. Another cool addition done to the UI in this time was, now when you're playing the game, if you pause the game, you can see all the buffs above and what they do. I find this very useful because sometimes, the top of the screen lights up with a lot, 6, 7, 8, 10 icons, and I go look at them and I'm like, what the hell is everything over there? I don't know what the hell that thing is doing. So now you can just pause the game and you can read, because sometimes it's your own buff from your own builds, and sometimes it's teammates buffs that are affecting you. So now you can, figure out, when I see this symbol, it's this buff or this debuff or something like that. And I think this is really, really useful. Lastly, and I just found out this by mere chance, I don't know if this was in the game before, maybe it was even before the Gate was there in the game, but I did not saw it. When you forge an item now, or in the forge, you can see in the bottom if you have a Warframe or a weapon slot to remove this item from inventory. This is very good because many times I want to take out something from the forge, some weapon or some Warframe, and I don't know how many slots I have, and comes the dreaded sign, buy more slots. So this is really, really helpful. So that's it. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Just giving it a like helps a lot with the algorithm. You don't have to subscribe if you're not, just passing through. But if you enjoy my content, there's other videos of Warframe and other small videos that I do that may pique your interest. Please, search in the boxes that are going to appear around here at the end. And I'll see you on the next video. Until then, have a great game, guys.